A very good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us and making our day even more beautiful. You reached here for a reason. Maybe the universe guided you here, for you have some unanswered questions, or your mind has become a tangled web that needs to be conditioned, or you're just here to remind yourself about your amazing potential. Whatever may be the reason, I'm certain that you would take away some form of wisdom from here today. This is a live interactive session, so please feel free to express yourselves, ask questions in the comment section. I'm Ananya from Team Happiness Technology, and it's my privilege to introduce the Doctor of Happiness, Dr. Arun Bhardwaj. Dr. Arun was engineering award winning technology solutions for companies like Motorola, Samsung, Lucent Bell Labs, and Dell for more than 25 years. And now he's engineering happiness worldwide, touching the hearts of millions. Today, he's an internationally celebrated keynote speaker and a global thought leader on corporate happiness, emotional well being, and peak performance mindset. He was recently recognized with the Friend of Africa Award for his engineering happiness initiative called Inspiring 1 Million Smiles in Africa. He's amongst the 51 most influential happiness leaders recognized by the World HRD Congress. He's conferred with the title of Doctor of Happiness by none other than the President of Namibia himself. So please welcome the Chief Mentor of Happiness Technology, Dr. Arun Bhardwaj.
Good morning, Ananya. Good morning to you and namaskar to everyone. It's such a pleasure to be connecting with all of you. And Ananya, before we start, I just want to take one moment. All of you joining us today and watching this later in replay, I would like to share three thoughts with you. First of all, these are trying times. And during these trying times, if you have lost any of your loved ones, we join you in your prayers. May the departed souls, they are blessed with eternal peace and bliss. If you are taking care of any person who is affected by COVID, we join your prayers and wish a speedy and fast recovery and complete recovery. And if you are selflessly participating and somehow helping people who are going through trouble, whether as doctors, nurses, or as people who are providing food and support services, our salutation, our gratitude from core of our heart, and we wish you good health and joy. So with that, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Back to you, Ananya.
Dr. Arun, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. You have had an amazing journey so far. You started as a software engineer, and after graduating as a gold medalist from NIT Hamirpur, you worked with some of the biggest tech giants in the world. And in 2016, when you were working as the Director of Enterprise Solutions and Alliances at Dell India, you left such a lucrative position. Why? Would you like to share your journey with us?
Yes, definitely. What I'm sharing is my thought, my point of view. All of you listening, if you have a different point of view, you're welcome to write in the chat and join us. I believe that there are three phases of life. First phase starts in our childhood, where we are enjoying everything. Everything is joyful. We are actually embodiment of joy at that time. We don't have anxieties, we don't have regrets. And then we get socially conditioned, and all these new factors start coming into our life: responsibility, accountability, etc., etc. And then we learn this second behavior. So first, happiness was unconditional. Happiness was within us. We were joyful. That's what we all wanted, having great time. We did not keep grudges for long. We did not keep regrets for long. And then second phase of life starts, where we start learning that life is all about pursuit of happiness. It is all about, all our actions are finally with the intent of somehow how I can achieve pleasure or happiness in life. Now, those pleasures and happiness are short lived. We can talk about them later. Let me move to the third phase of life. So after we have lived our life enough in pursuit of happiness, seeking pleasures, joys, I want to buy this, I want to eat this, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to achieve something, I want to accomplish something. Sooner or later, we all reach that third level where we realize that life is not about pursuit of happiness. It's like drinking salty water. More we drink, more salty, more thirsty we feel, and more things we want to accumulate. Then the third phase starts sooner or later, usually after you have had 10, 15, 20 years of professional experience and doing whatever you want to do in your life. When we start thinking for what? And transition happens from pursuit of happiness to happiness in pursuit. You start enjoying what you're doing. And once in a while, you start questioning, what am I doing? Is it something that I really wanted to do in my life? And that questioning started happening within me also. And I realized that although from the social norms, I was successful, whatever I was doing, I was considered successful in terms of financial, in terms of status, social status, etc. But when I was introspecting, I felt there is success in my life, but what is significance of my life? And this is that third phase. When you start questioning what is significance of my life, you also start doing something which is more purposeful, which is beyond you, and you start contributing to others' life, your own life. And that's when we start moving from pursuit of happiness into happiness in pursuit, what I call as joyful living, trying to learn every moment of life. So I realized that, and now the question is, Dr. Arun, everybody knows that, everybody wants it. How do you find out what is that? How do we start enjoying or happiness in pursuit? It is all about introspecting. I cannot give you a formula. You have to observe what is that doing which you feel in meditation, complete meditation. Doing what do you feel that not only you are acting, but you are growing within. Some growth is happening within you. And for me, it was public speaking, interacting with people. And that was my love. And that's how that courage came to quit the corporate life and start something where I'm enjoying every moment of my life. And people often ask me, are you, now that you have done your PhD, now that you have quit corporate and you are doing something, are you happy now? So happiness is not a destination. It is a mental attitude. It's a journey. I certainly am happier. I'm certainly happier. So I'm fortunate in life. Either we have to do what we love or we have to start loving what we do. When I was in corporate, that was not necessarily something that I wanted to do, but understanding the formula of happiness, that we have to start creating loving job might not be something I love, but we have to start creating love out of that job. That formula helped me live my corporate life happier. But afterwards, I'm able to do what I love to do, which is interact with human beings, uh, bring value out of me and out of people. And the mission from engineering technology solution, now the mission has become engineering happiness. And I don't know if you have seen my mission statement. After a lot of thinking, it is very simply put, helping people uncover their greatness and leaving people happier than I found them. That's it. That's what it is.
That's amazing to hear. Dr. Arun, it's generally assumed that one's happiness is controlled by many external factors. Some people have given up on the idea that, one can truly attain happiness. Some people have been so misled in the name of happiness that to them happiness becomes an unrealistic ideal, chasing which one becomes even more frustrated. So, in this day and age of confusion and dramatization, you say that one has the power to create happiness, engineer happiness rather. Sounds too good to be true for a common man. How is it even possible?
Ananya, that's exactly why my journey started in a new domain. Just imagine an engineer uh, who is uh, who is doing his engineering and technology solutions, and then I did my MBA and ended up doing my research on happiness and ancient wisdom. So my journey started what you are talking about. I have to share this experience with all of you watching now, and all of us, all of you who have joined. Some of them are very dear friends. All of you are dear friends. Welcome once again. I have to share this journey with you. I was in US. I was in near San Francisco. I went to one temple, and one Swamiji was talking about how to attain happiness, and he was going to give complete series on it. But very first day, he set some conditions. What kind of person can learn that knowledge? What kind of person can actually even understand what he's going to say? And whatever conditions he was setting, I was not fitting into any of it. I was young. I was enjoying my parties. I was doing weekends, everything that a young person ought to do. And but then I was in the exclusion list that I should not even come and listen to all this knowledge. And this thought started coming to me: why? Why I should be secluded from this pursuit of happiness? Because that time I was still in the pursuit of happiness phase. And I said, why is it not? Then why is it not possible that we create a process to attain happiness? And this is where that engineering mind started working, and this program was born, which is Engineering Happiness Program now. Now, let me tell you what I mean by it. See, when we think of happiness, we are usually thinking of pleasures. Do something, feel happy, achieve a goal, feel happy. And most of our goals are self-centric. It is all about what we are doing, what I want to do. And because of that, we also feel frustrated. When I'm talking about happiness, it is not that mystical happiness I'm talking about. Happiness for me is a mindset. Happiness for me is an inner compass that helps you observe your life and lead your life with values. That means the moment I feel I'm not happy, I know that I have done something that I should not have done. And that inner compass tells you, no, no, you have to course correct and do something which, really brings elation in you. So that's one part of happiness. So when you start looking at happiness not as an external concept, I have to achieve something to do something, you start looking at it your own as your thought process, your mindset, the definition dimension of happiness changes. That's number one. Number two, happiness is not about absence of problem. It is not that I'm always jumping up and down, I have to smile and laugh all the time. That's not happiness for me. Happiness, as I'm saying, is a mindset. It's a thought process for me. And it is that mindset which allows you to do best in the worst of circumstances. Suppose I'm going through tough time right now. I've learned to accept it. It is what it is. Because you cannot change. It cannot be any other way. It is what it is. It is past. So if I keep dwelling into that, if I keep feeling stressed, if I keep putting myself in negative energy mode, thinking about how bad things have happened to me or how bad people were for me, what I'm missing is an opportunity to correct my future. So if somehow I can understand, I can learn the magic of putting myself into positive frame of mind, even in the worst of circumstances, if I can put a smile, even if it is a initially forced smile, it changes your biochemical makeup of your mind and body. And if you are able to put yourself physically and emotionally in a positive state, even in the worst of circumstances, then you definitely cannot change your past, but we have an opportunity to make right decision, respond to worst of circumstances in more assertive way, more positive way, so we can at least do our future course correction and make our future what we intend it to be. So that's what happiness. And now you will say, is it a practical idea? One of the books that has impacted me a lot is Man's Search for Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a psychologist in Vienna, and he was put into Nazi concentration camp. And you can imagine, we all have heard about atrocities that have happened in Nazi concentration camps. And he was very weak. And people told him, you will not survive for more than 2 weeks. But suddenly something happened. When he was thrown in a sewage where a lot of dead bodies and people were thrown along with him, he was left to freeze to die. Suddenly this thought comes to him where he visions his wife playing piano wearing his most favorite red dress. And he's entering and listening to this. And that hope was born in his mind and heart that I want to go back and see my wife. That hope transported him into a different zone altogether. And suddenly another positive thought came to his mind. He said, I am a psychologist. I can see human behavior. Whoever would ever get an opportunity to see how humans behave in these unhuman conditions, in the worst of circumstances. So he said, I'm going to live through this. So I can share with people how people can live through even toughest of circumstances. So I'm giving an extreme example, but I think it's a very inspiring one. Dying there, left to die there, suddenly this hope and thought comes to his mind. And now he was no more in Nazi prison camp. He was no more in that sewerage left to die. Every time he was beaten, he was given all these punishments. He will imagine himself to be delivering lectures in Vienna to all these people who have come to listen to him. So he's explaining how humans, by responding to the worst of circumstances, can survive the cruelest of times. Just by that positive mindset, he survived. Not only he survived that concentration camp, he became one of the most sought after speaker. And his book, Search for Men Search for Meaning, it became one of the super hit books, and he has become a phenomena, a part of history. And none of my talks are without referring to him. So you can see happiness, just to sum it up, is not about jumping up and down, laughter and smile only. That's an expression, necessary and important. But it is also our capability to respond to life's worst circumstances in the best possible way. So I invite all of you listening to me, at least reflect on this thought. And when we put ourselves physically, even you watch something positive, even when you are going through very tough time, you talk to a friend and laugh, it certainly puts you in a positive mindset where you will be able to take more positive actions to make your future much more meaningful and better than what it would be if you stayed in the negative state of mind.
Yes. True, Dr. Arun. As it is said that it's only in the darkness that you can see the stars. And a follow-up question that arises in my mind.
I want to add to that. See, it
Yeah,
is your choice. Do you want to see darkness or do you want to see the stars? Right? They say two people were in the prison, both were looking outside through the bars. One saw the mud on the ground, the other saw the stars. And the one who has hope, you know that he's going to survive and thrive. So the whole program, Engineering Happiness, I identified based on feedback I received from people, 8 dimensions of life. And if we nurture those 8 dimensions, we can engineer happiness in our life. We can create an environment in which we can feel positive more often than we feel negative. Okay, and that's so it's possible to engineer happiness in our life.
absolutely, Dr. Arun. Numerous studies have shown that job stress is far and away the major cause of stress for adults, and it has escalated progressively over the past few decades. In a
Yes.
study conducted by American Institute of Stress, it was revealed that 46% of the American workforce carries workload related stress, and 20% are stressed juggling work and personal life. Back here in India, 7 in 10 employees experience work related stress on a weekly basis. This is even higher than the Asia Pacific average of 60%. When employees are surveyed, 9 out of 10 employees feel that they will stick to their job even longer if companies provide them with self-development opportunities. Despite such staggering numbers, a very few company heads see a problem and want to address mental health issues of their employees. So, Dr. Arun, why do you think this is the case? And does stress really increase our performance at work?
I think this is a very, very important question, especially for the current times. And I tell you my personal experience when I became happiness mentor, and I used to approach corporates, HR teams, and I'll say that I'm bringing this program. They used to say, happiness. I mean, if I arrange this program in my company, people will think that my employees are not happy. That's why I have to do these programs. So we have never understood importance of mental health, I think, in our culture. Everybody knows everybody knows if I get a cut, even my 9-year-old daughter Joy also knows what to do. She will clean with the Dettol, she will put a handy plast and all that. So we know how to do first aid for physical injuries. But if somebody comes to you or me and say that, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling very lonely, low, we will, what we'll say? We'll say, Arey yaar, iske bare mein zyada mat socho. Don't think too much about it. You'll be fine. Just wait, sleep well, eat well, drink well. We don't know how to handle that situation because we find that what he or she is saying is actually happening within me also. So until this 2020, I think the thought process has changed. But from my own experience, people thought of mental well-being or happiness as a multivitamin. Good to have. We will see if we have time and money for it, but not something very important for our office or work or something. But what is happening now, I'm seeing a lot of interest. People are connecting with me more and more in similar concepts, because people started seeing that mental health is not only multivitamin, it's a pain reducer, painkiller. It is important, it is essential. Now, you talked about connecting performance and stress. First of all, I'm not surprised with the American statistics at all. You are saying that 46% people feel stressed at work in America, and probably Indian number are same or more. So I'll tell you another statistics of America, and that will tell you why this 46 such a large number. 87%, I was also reading a research, 87% of Americans report that they don't love their job. They're not loving what they are doing. Only 13% of people are loving what they are doing. And here is, I think, the mother of problem. This is where the problem originates. This is the root. If you don't love your job, you are going to go there just to collect your paycheck, and everything is going to be burden. If you're a budding entrepreneur, if the only reason you want to be entrepreneur because you want to make a lot of money, you are up for a lot of frustration. First thought should be, how can I create meaning? Is what I'm doing meaningful to me, first of all? And then what I'm doing, is it contributing to the society? Because that's the question that I also went through. It's not hypothetical what I'm talking. I was thinking, I'm doing all this, I'm making a lot of money, but how is it changing anybody's life? And answer was, no, I don't know. The distance between what I'm doing at work and how it is contributing to human life, the distance was too far away. I did not know. And what I'm doing right now, it's a meditation to me, I'm telling you. Why? Because what I'm doing, I can instantly see a smile on someone's face. See, when I smile, you're also smiling back. And when I see my work is contributing directly to human upliftment, there's no greater joy than that. I'm not saying that everybody has to quit their jobs and start becoming motivational speaker, although that would not be a bad choice at all. But whatever you are doing, even if you're not loving what you are doing, develop that love. And I'll tell you, it is one thing to say develop your love. I'll tell you the formula also if you want to work on it. And by using this formula, you can see that we can bring people out of their stresses and make them productive, not because of paycheck, not because the boss is after them, but because they internally feel transformed. And I call, within my domain of happiness technology, this to be IOS, inner operating system upgrade. And I use another term, IoT, inside out transformation is required. By pushing people or dangling carrots of money and status, people will not get inspired for long term. It has to come from within. It has to be an inner transformation. So let me tell you the solution then. What is the solution? You as an individual first have to introspect and see what are your strengths. Whatever your strengths are. Is it analytical? Whatever it is. If you are a normal human being, you will at least have 4 to 5 core strengths. And then you will have subsidiary strengths. And those strengths, there is a phenomenal body of research now that proves that if you are using your strengths at work, you are going to feel happier. You will love your work, you will enjoy your work. Most of the time, our problem is we are working just for the paycheck. We don't bring our strengths into our work. And if HR community is listening to my thoughts or leaders are listening to this thought, then I will invite you to think, are you matching your job requirements with the competency of people? Right? No point beating people. Nobody goes out to work and perform bad or poorly. It is just that the requirement of the job does not match with the competency of this person, whether it is learned competency or intrinsic personality competencies, right? A person who is very thoughtful, introspective, introvert, if you put him on the stage, you are going to make him feel uncomfortable. But if the same person is doing research and doing many of these research phenomena, probably he'll excel. So it's just a matter of matching he or she. So I think I'm able to give you that thought now, that all this is all about two things. Either you do what you love. Some of us might be fortunate to do that, take that risk, quit their current job that probably they don't love and start doing something which they love. And if that is not an option for you, then you have to start developing love within the job that you are doing. And if stakeholders or HR people are listening to this, the statistics are staggering, phenomenal. Not even you shouldn't even give a second thought. You should Start doing initiatives to nurture culture of happiness in your organization. Universities like Stanford and Harvard, they have conducted researches, and what they have found is that there's a project, it's called Happiness Advantage Project and at Stanford, that if you have happy workspace, if people feel like coming to work and they feel happy because of the environment that the job has created for them, they are 37% more productive, 10 times more engaged teams, people are more creative, more dynamic. And listen to this, if you just put your sales team in a room and give them a pep talk, give them a piece of chocolate and say, you guys are amazing, have a wonderful day. If they go out optimistic, hopeful that day, they have performed 56% better than the group which was control group. And this is not just one time study, it's over a period of time. Just imagine, just by pepping people and making them hopeful and optimistic, you can increase sales performance, that quantitative it can get. Sales performance by 56%. So happiness at workplace is not an option. It is a requirement for mental well-being, as well as if you want to enrich your people and thrive your business. Bring happiness to your workplace. Back to you.
Absolutely, Dr. Arun. Dr. Nandish is saying that Dr. Arunji, majority of people keep changing the success thinking that they will get happiness at the end, but it lies along the journey. Your insights and perspectives, please.
Dr. Nandish, first of all, good morning to you. It's lovely to see you in this conversation. Uh, I want to share my thoughts on that, one of my favorite topics. There are two mindsets, traditional mindset, I call it, and happiness mindset. Traditional mindset that we all live through, and I think we are still putting our kids through that traditional mindset. Traditional mindset is work hard, achieve success, and you'll be happy. Work hard, achieve success, you'll be happy. And the moment you achieve success, the parameter for success changes. And again, we are in this vicious cycle of work hard, achieve success, you'll be happy. I was in 10th grade, I was told, 10th में बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाई कर लो. Work hard, because after 10th, oh, life बन गई. You'll be set for life. And then you work very hard. Then you get into 12th. Again, parents say the same thing to you, right, Ananya? Work hard, and then life बन गई. And then you get into engineering college, then teachers say, work hard, and then you'll get into a good company, life ban gayi. Then you get into... So this perpetual cycle of success chase never ends. And that's what I meant, Dr. Nandish, when I was saying that when we are going after pleasures, when we are going after dopamine release in our system, we are drinking salty water. More we drink, more thirsty we feel. So now you are saying, isn't the journey more important? Absolutely. And that's what I meant when I said, first phase of life, I think, Dr. Nandish, you joined us a little late. So what I was telling, there are three phases of life. First phase, where kids, they enjoy everything. Every moment is joyful and they are divine. Second phase, it is all about pursuit of happiness. I want to do every action with the hope that it is going to fetch me happiness, joy, pleasure, recognition somehow. Recognition also because it leads to my own happiness. And then third phase of life is happiness in pursuit. And that's what, Dr. Nandish, you are also pointing with the journey. Happiness in pursuit. Whatever I'm doing, because I'm using my strengths, I'm feeling I'm utilizing my creativity, I always feel in that state of flow. And since I feel in that state of flow, that journey is enjoyable for me. I am having happiness in the process. So the happiness mindset that I am living, or at least intending to live and trying to live my best, is squeeze joy out of every moment. So purpose of life is not work hard, achieve success. Purpose of life is enjoying every moment of life, like we were doing when we were kids. Because when we do that, we are more creative. When we are more creative, success becomes a side effect, not intent of living life. So I hope I answered your question, Dr. Nandish. To end it on the lighter note, this is a perpetual question, right? Is journey more important or the destination? And there was a WhatsApp wisdom which kind of tickled my ribs, which said, is journey more important or destination? And very beautifully it said, actually, आपका साथ ज़्यादा important है. Who is with you? Your company is more important than journey and destination, because if company is good, then everything we enjoy. So here is it, another wisdom from WhatsApp. Not journey, not only destination, it is the company that you carry. And I think the most important company is our own company. And India, which was spiritual guru, Ananya, you are giving all these scary statistics of how stressed we are and how stress we know affects our role, affects our jobs. How come Vishwa Gurus have come to this state that we have the highest ailment rate, ailments because of stress? It is because of one thing that we have lost in the process. And that one thing is we have stopped loving our own company. When we are by ourselves, we feel lonely. Our sages were alone and they were fine with it because they could introspect, they could improve themselves. We have stopped doing it. And forget about everything else. The only place where we could be away from everybody was toilet. We cannot bear our company even there. We carry our phone and newspaper so we don't have to talk to ourselves even in the toilet also. So when we cannot handle our own company, just imagine we are trying to impose it on others. So along with the journey and destination, it is the company. And the most important company is our own that we have to start enjoying.
Very true words, Dr. Arun. I would like to say that this is a live interactive session, so you can express yourselves in the comment section. If you have any questions to ask to Dr. Arun alongside our interview, uh, please go ahead and I'll be happy to ask those questions to Dr. Arun.
And you are
So,
very welcome because all of the friends who have joined, they are very learned people. I've interacted with them. Uh, Mr. Mohandas, oh, Mr. Mohandas, Mr. Mohandas is there, Anita ji is there, everybody, Satish Bhai is there. Please feel free to chime in also. Oh, Dr. Rajkumar is there. So please feel free to chime in also. Sundar, welcome. Very feel free to chime in. You can, in addition to questions, you can also respond or take my thoughts further or add or modify them. Ananya, back to you.
yes. Dr. Arun, fear is a very powerful emotion which triggers the flight and fight response in humans. It helps us survive. However, living under constant threat can have serious health consequences from cardiovascular damage to premature death. The COVID
Yes.
19 pandemic has amplified our fears and anxieties, and we are juggling with fears of losing money, losing our job, losing a loved one, or losing our health. Accompanying these fears is a truckload of other emotions that we smear ourselves in every day. So, how do we keep our sanity in such testing times, or how can we engineer peace and positivity in such uncertain times?
Yeah. Dr. Nandish is also asking similar question on the same lines. Uh,
Yeah,
See, these are tough times. First of all, we have to learn to understand that we don't have to be happy, up and down, jumping all the time. Tough times do come in our life, and it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be not okay sometimes. And what I want to share is one story of this father and daughter going for a hike, and they are passing through this forest, and there's this huge branch lying on the road, and this young daughter, little one, because she has been taught by her father that everything is possible if you use all your strength, she talks to her father and says, Dad, if I use all my strength, can I move this branch off the road? And he says, yes, sure, why not, you can. So she tries really hard, and she falls down and scratches her hand, and with the tears in eyes she says, you lied. See, you told if I use all my strength, I'll be able to move this branch, but I could not. And father smiles and says, you still have not used your strength. She says, no, I did. He says, no, you did not. See, I'm standing here. You did not ask me to help you. In our culture, I don't think we are encouraged by our society or conditioning to take help when we need it. We don't speak up. Even if we speak up, we speak to those people who are not competent enough or do not have necessarily the wisdom to help you come out of that situation. We often, in trouble times, talk to people who are like us, who are also in trouble. They have not figured their way out, so we also stay and feel that they are giving us empathy, and we are feeling more miserable together, and that is good for us. Sometimes feeling miserable is what we do, and that gives us happiness and joy. We have to reach out. We have to reach out to people who we think can help us, who are not in the same state as us, right? Even in professional environment also, person who has not met his sales numbers, he will not talk to somebody who's successful because he's feeling that feeling of jealousy or embarrassment. He is going to talk to person who has also not met sell number and say, yaar tere bhi nahi hue, mere bhi nahi hue, chalo dono saath mein baith ke kahin beer peete hain. Right? So we do the same for our personal life also. So mental health is very important to maintain. Mental health should be treated as important as physical health. As we take, let me ask you this question: how many times in a month you take bath, Ananya? How many times you bathe?
Every day.
Why? It's a wastage of water, right? So I ask this question most of the time. People say, Arun, when you spoke to us, we were feeling very motivated, but once you went after 1 week, everything was gone. So I ask this question: how many times you take bath? And everybody says every day, and I say it's wastage of water. Why? And then you will tell me why not, because I'm going out, there's a dust, pollution, smoke, everything else. And not only that, I'm sweating because I'm working out and walking and all that, so my body is dirty, I want to clean it up. And this is the greatest difference we have to transformation we have to bring to our families, all of you listening as well. We have to bring this transformation, that we have to bring element of mental health in our home for our family members. We have not even reached the state of going from brushing to dental flossing, and because of that many of us have teeth problem. We have not even acquired dental flossing, but in addition to dental flossing, we have to also add mental flossing to our daily routine. And what I mean by that: having a positive conversation, talking to somebody who uplifts you, listening to something positive, reducing amount of hours you are watching news TV because they are just for TRP. They are putting fuel into chitas, and they want to share that flare up. They have no interest in keeping your mental sanity. It is all about TRP. So we have to maintain that mental sanity by using mental flossing every day. So let's sit with our families. Let's have at least 1 hour of positive interaction in these troubled times, because everybody is going through stress we might not be able to express to each other. Have that great time in which we are not doing any argumentative conversation. It can be a game, it can be chat, it can be expressing our own skills. Create that environment for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour of positive family time at home. Second, life flourishes when we think positive, when we share positivity, when we express gratitude. If we keep thinking what we don't have and what I cannot do because of it, obviously we are going to feel stressed. But when we think what I have and what I can do with what I have, we are going to feel happy. So, Dr. Nandish, another sutra that you can test and let me know if it worked. We have to start thinking of what I have and what I can do with it. But most of the time, this is how we are designed, because our brain was designed for survival. That's why fear is such a strong emotion. That's why anger is such a strong emotion, because everything that is for survival is instinctive. Everything that is response, not reaction, is not instinctive. We have to learn it. And I want to pick one quote from which I think represent thoughts of Gita, that knowledge without action is waste. All of us in India, we are very learned. Only thing is we cannot put our knowledge into action. We know everything, but we cannot put it into action. That's our problem. We all know a lot of Gita Gyan. So knowledge without action is of no use. And action without knowledge is dangerous. It is purposeful action with knowledge, done with complete devotion, what brings joy and happiness in life. So please give it a thought. We know, I'm pretty sure all of you know what to do in these circumstances. Only thing is, I am here, fortunately, an agent who is triggering and bringing that subconscious thought into forefront, saying that what you already know you should be doing, do it. Please call somebody, express your gratitude, how happy you are that they are in your life. Utilize this time as we are locked down in our homes to appreciate each other. Appreciate your own self. It is not only conversations that you are doing with others. The most important conversation is conversation you are doing with yourself. Improve the quality of that conversation. So this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. Right? So Jai, you take whatever is giving. So this is what I would say we have to do in these trouble. So gratitude is second part. So I will tell you the 3 G's, 3G formula of being happy. First one is growth. Let's make sure that as we are stuck within the homes, we learn something new about each other. Not only syllabus, not only coding and all that stuff. We learn about each other, each other's habits, each other's joys, each other's strengths, etc. So grow by learning. Put that learning into action. Second, gratitude. Let's be gratitude. First thing when I wake up in the morning, I see and I feel so good that I'm on top of the world and not below ground. Understand? So I'm so glad that I am above ground, not below the ground. And that itself should give me enough motivation to feel joyful about day. So feel gratitude towards yourself that you have made it so far and you will do something better from here. And then gratitude towards others. Because when we express gratitude, chemical called oxytocin or neurotransmitter called oxytocin is released. It makes the person who receives gratitude feel better. It also makes you feel better as a person who is giving that gratitude or expressing that gratitude. And somebody who is seeing this happen and getting inspired also will feel happy because the same neurotransmitter called oxytocin is released in that person as well. So you see, gratitude can make three dimension of people happy. And the third G, so we said growth, gratitude, and third G, most important. People often ask me now that you have done PhD on happiness, give us some quick tip how to be happy. Easiest way of feeling happiness, giving something to someone, doing something for someone without expecting anything back. And if you want even higher dose of happiness, do something for someone who for sure cannot do anything back to you. That's what makes you happy. That's what creates environment of happiness, right? So growth, gratitude, and giving. These three things. Now, when I'm talking about giving, I'm not talking about money. Sometimes we will write a check of 1,001 rupees and we'll say, "Acha, giving ka kaam pura ho gaya." It is giving listening ears. It is giving appreciation. The most important gift of giving you can do these days, gift of your time. Making that person whom you're talking to feel, I'm here for you completely. You have my listening ear because I think that's number one stress buster. You will become a healer, eradicator of hopelessness. You'll become a physician, a therapist if you just listen to people, give them your 100% attention, and share a smile because smile, see, it recharges the system for the person as
Wonderful thoughts there, Dr. Arun. So, three G's to take away today: gratitude, the joy of giving, and the third G was uh, uh,
well. Growth.
growth. Sorry, yeah, it was growth. So, these are the
So,
three very important takeaways.
yeah,
Uh,
and then
from,
I just need to take a quick break. Somebody has knocked at the door. Can you just summarize so far what you think is your takeaway? And I'll be back in 20 seconds.
yes,
Okay?
all right, Dr. Arun. Yes,
Just summarize
so
what you've taken so far.
yes, absolutely. So we learned that let's make a pledge today, guys, that we are going to spend a few minutes every day for ourselves. We are going to do something that makes us happy, be it exercise, be it meditation, be it just talking to the people you love, be it, um, um, just going out, walking in the woods. So anything, any routine that keeps your spirits high in these very challenging times, I think this is what we need because if you watch the news, everything is full of negativity, and there's definitely a lot of corona panic happening. So it's very important for all of us to have some routines every day, positive ones that make us happy. So let's take away these very important points from Dr. Arun's response to my question, which is gratitude, having a growth mindset, thanking yourself for your resilience, thanking yourself for your amazing potential. Every day you are fighting against the odds. Every day you are breaking the glass ceilings in the office. Every day you are triumphing at some or the other small battle, and you should express gratitude for yourself and for people around you who are making your life um, beautiful, and happier. So that's a very important element there, gratitude. And the third one, which is the joy of giving. Um, Last year in 2020, we had also conducted a Joy of Giving folk concert, which had a lot of folk artists, and we were able to raise a lot of um, important stuff, necessities for those artists because of a Joy of Giving virtual folk concerts. So that was a really amazing experience, and I was a part of those Joy of Giving virtual folk concerts, and raising funds for such artists really made me transform as an individual. So I started understanding the level, the importance of joy of giving from that point as well. And I now understand that why Dr. Arun, stresses so much upon the joy of giving. So even on happiness technology website, you can see we have a separate section for joy of giving. That's the level of importance and significance we give to the joy of giving. So yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, you're Dr. Arun.
So Vipin is asking a question. Meanwhile, Ananya, I
Yes.
have one question. When you are always being nice to everybody, but we didn't receive the same response, what are your comment? How do you feel happy, or what do you feel about it? Vipinji, first of all, thanks for your question. I want to tell you one thing, and this is not one of my aspirations, one of my intent is that I'm not giving you best practices. Whatever I'm sharing with you is something that I have tested in my life, I've experienced in my life. So be assured that what I'm telling you is not reading from the book and giving it to you because that you have been listening for ages. My intent is to give you some practical tips, tools, processes that you can utilize in your day-to-day life. Now, your question is about happiness, right? If you are being nice to people and they are not nice to you, expectation is the mother of frustration. You have been listening. Necessity is the mother of invention. Expectation is the mother of frustration. In life, very simple, yet another definition of happiness is the difference between expectations and realities. What I expect things to be and how in reality they are, the difference is my happiness. So if expectations are more than reality, then I'm frustrated. If reality is better than my expectations, we feel happy, isn't it? Now again we are dwelling into the pleasure domain. सुख और आनंद में यही फर्क है. सुख हमें मिलता है जब हम अपनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस को फुलफिल पाते हैं. आनंद मिलता है जब हम बिना एक्सपेक्टेशंस के कुछ पा लेते हैं. So when you are doing good to others, you are expecting they will do good to you. Please write down this one golden sutra because it has given me a lot of courage. My life has transformed because of that one sutra. Be good to people, not because they are good, but because you are nice. It gives me so much of strength. If you feel like doing, see, first of all, we should be doing good to others, but okay, we are not ideal saint human beings. But if you do good to someone, you feel like it, that feeling of that, I want to do good to Ananya or someone gives me joy. Now, if you reciprocate, you are going to add to my happiness. But just because I express my goodness, my gratitude, my happiness to you, it definitely made me happy. You cannot take my part of happiness away from me. If I invite Vipin for dinner, just because I had this bhava, this thought that I want to invite Vipin for dinner, and I called you, I will get happiness. That's inner happiness, not just pleasure, because it's not for me. It is with the hope, with the intent of meeting you or inviting you. Now, if you say, Arun, yes, I'm coming to your home, that will add to my happiness. I'll feel happy that Vipin I invited, he's coming to my home. But if you had said no, I have trained my brain, mind, and attitude now. I will not allow that no to erode that happiness that I got from having this feeling that I want to invite Vipin for dinner tonight. I hope you get my point. So be good to people, not because they are good, but because you are nice. Let's do things because we want to do it. Let's do things not because we want to please gods or other human beings. Let's do things because when you'll introspect what I'm saying right now, when we do things with Just pure joy, because it is giving me joy to invite someone, it is giving me joy to compliment someone, it is giving me joy to share something with someone. That joy should be the purpose. How they respond or react should be a side effect. If it is positive side effect, accept it, let you feel even more happier. If it is negative, don't accept it. I'll give you one very important sutra that I have learned, Vipin, and I think very practical one on top of it. See, right now I had a knock at the door. It was a Flipkart guy delivering. I do not control. I don't even remember what did I order. We do not control who knocks at our door. But since I had hurry of coming back to you and joining this webinar again, this talk again, it was within my control how long I want to be engaged with that person who knocked on my door. Same thing with the thoughts as well. Thoughts come, they are worrisome thoughts. People give you negative thoughts. Whether you want to open door for them or not, it is up to us. And even if for some reason you have to open door for them, how long you want to engage with those thoughts? आप उनको दरवाजे से ही बाहर कर दोगे, या उनको घर पे बुला के चाय वाय पिलाओगे, रात को रुकने के लिए कहोगे, या हमेशा के लिए घर में रहने के लिए कहोगे? That control definitely is with us. And that is what I mean by engineering happiness. Learning these micro adjustments in life that accumulatively create transformation for us.
Beautiful thoughts there, Dr. Arun. Thank you, Mr. Vipin, for asking such a wonderful question. Mr. Mohan Das is asking, mental flossing is amazing, sir. Can you give some small examples?
The easiest way of mental flossing, see, today, if you have connected with some of the thoughts that I've shared with you, and today as we are talking more about how in the current situation we can create positivity at home, start utilizing some of those thoughts intentionally, although that might not be part of your inner operating system, but start utilizing some of those thoughts intentionally. For example, this thought of that I do not control who knocks at my door, but I definitely control how long I want to engage with that thought, right? This, you put that in practice and you say purposefully, I'm going to use this thought for 1 hour, half an hour. Gratitude practice. You say that I'm going to, because Arun has said and he's saying it is based on my experience, I'm going to take that leap of faith. Let me call somebody who I had to thank, but I have not for whatever reason. But it is sincere appreciation that person deserves. Try that out today. So start bringing some of these elements in our life. You are doing mental flossing, because it is not only creating joy in somebody else's life, it is also training your inner operating system how to run in happiness mindset mode. Another, instead of watching that X hours of TV that we are watching, let's carve out half an hour for something that really connects. Because these days I have started listening to poetry, for example, or shero shairi. So it just gives me joy. Some of the things are so meaningful. So that has become part of my mental flossing these days. Doing these kind of programs is definitely a big, not only mental flossing, a complete mental bath for me. So, Mr. Mohandas, I know you have all the capabilities, and mental flossing is simply putting those thoughts into action and making sure that we are carving out 30 minutes for purposeful, positive environment, not in our home, first within our, between the ears. And that's about it.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dr. Arun. We live in a very fast paced life. We have tight schedules for the whole day. We are hardly able to catch up with life as we are constantly torn apart among workload, family responsibilities, and household chores. Most of us do not have the time and energy to think about creating something new, be it a piece of art or an innovative business solution or a new, healthier lifestyle. Especially in a corporate setting, being creative is considered an expertise of only a few employees of an organization. By any means, Dr. Arun, is it possible to spur creativity? Can we train ourselves to think outside the box?
First of all, the way we think about creativity needs to be changed. We think the person who is playing music is creative, the person who is doing art is creative. Creativity is very simply an act of human potential coming into realization. And by that definition, a person who is cleaning the floor, or when I'm cleaning the floor, I can be creative. And person who is totally involved in cleaning the floor in best possible way, because he or she is not thinking of doing pocha, that I have to wipe the floor. The person is thinking about health of people who are living here. That person is being creative. It is as good as drawing an invisible painting, a painting that some master like Picasso is drawing on a canvas. So first of all, we have to remember that creativity does not mean coming out with another iPhone. Creativity means you are able to bring your inner potential out and realize it in some form. So it is not an activity, it is an attitude. Second part, see how happiness is so important. It 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 has so many benefits. I can spend half day, but creativity context. When we are stressed, you know that our brain is designed only for, as you also said, Ananya, our brain is designed for fight and flight behavior. We are stressed. Only thing brain is thinking survival. But when we are in joyful mood, we are at our best, isn't it? When we are happy, we are at our best. That's one of my favorite statements, I think. When we are happy, we are at our best. And when we are at our best, we are happy. So when you get to utilize your creativity and create something, whether it is physical or emotional or psychological, some positivity, it creates happiness. So when we are happy, we are at our best. When we are at our best, we are happy. And when we are happy, our brain thinks divergently. When we are stressed, it feels convergently. That means if we are able to maintain a positive state of mind, if we are able to induce positive state of mind, in that positive state of mind, we will be able to come out with more creative options for whatever situation we are in, whether it is working at your workplace, trying to figure out solution to the professional problem you're facing, or a coding problem you're facing, or technology problem you're facing, or whichever problem, or it is life has given you some challenge and you are thinking to come out of it. If you are with the positive mind, you'll be more divergent with better idea, more idea. You have maintained your positive state of mind, or what I call as happiness mindset. Okay. Now, second part of it is, uh, how do we boost creativity? How we think outside? Knowing, having this knowledge that brain is not designed for you to be creative. Brain is designed for you to be safe. Now, when you're trying to express unbound ideas, it is going to pull you back. So, knowing this is very important. That when you are getting pulled back, we have to say, okay, if I want to really be creative, I have to forget, teach this brain, which is instinctive in nature, teach it that it's okay for me. I'm not living in jungle anymore. There's no threat to my life. I can come out with, express my idea. And if that idea does not fly, that's also okay. Failure of it does not mean I will die. So once brains start learning this, we will, I think, do better. And as I mentioned before, we have two options: either live instinctively or live by design. Brain is designed for instinctive living. It is only our prefrontal cortex, which is called executive brain, that knows that human beings can do a lot more than what we were doing when we were in the forest. Okay. I want to pick one question from Yogi. Yogi asks, if we are kind to others, but others are not, or they insult us even if they are wrong, how to cope up, of what kind of thought we should have? And then Dr. Rajkumar said, asked us to reflect on that as well. So I think part of it is, we already said about expectation and reality. Also, what you do, it is uh, based on because you are good and you want to do good. Now, if somebody insults you, then what? Very silly example, but very effective one. If I call somebody a donkey, gadha, tu to gadha hai, the person feels offended, because the person immediately starts imposing the donkey's characteristics on himself or herself and says, no, how dare you call me this? Now, suppose I call you, you are an orange, you are an apple. No, you don't know what to impose on you, you're fine with it. So, apple, you're fine, but donkey, you're not. Right? So, again, it comes back to the same thing, that the greatest, the most important communication that we have to learn to do is communicating with ourselves. And that is how we have become from international guru, Vishwa Guru of spirituality, to the country with the most number of cases of stress related diseases, because we have stopped the greatest learnings our sages have given us, the power of introspection, self governing. I'll tell you one thing. We do Ganesh Puja. Ganesha को रोज सुबह सुबह नमस्ते करते हैं. But we do not understand essence of Ganesh Puja. but I'll not get into detail right now. I'll tell you, in Ganesha's hand, one of the hand you will see, it is gold. इसको हम कहते हैं the शंकु, जिसको जिसको चुभा के चलाते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, अंकुश. In Ganesha's hand there is ankush, goad, which is used to drive an elephant. Why would an elephant god Ganesha carry ankush in his own hand? And who is Ganesha? Ganesha is considered Vinayaka, the ultimate leader. And what is in his hand? In his hand, he is carrying ankush,
Ankush.
what is used to drive an elephant. That means number one quality of a leader, and I as a household person can be a leader, family I'm a leader, at work I can be a leader, any kind of leader you want to be. You have to have power of self-governing, and that cannot come without introspection. So when we talk about meditation, when we talk about sitting and keeping at least 30 minutes for yourself, it is all about introspection. Most of what I'm saying, probably you all already know, but it is a question of, are we able to invoke this knowledge when we need it the most? And that cannot happen until we introspect and purposefully do our mental flossing every day and bring some of these thoughts into forceful action, because brain is saying, don't do this, is new, why do you want to do this? Even if you are bad, that's also okay, at least we are comfortable with it. Now you're trying to be a good person, and brain resists that because it's something new and you are taking additional risk. This is where our intellectual brain should come in and subside that instinctive brain. And instead of living like boat, which is pushed by the winds of circumstances, we have to start living like a sailboat, which uses even adverse winds also in its favor by aligning the sail. So let's start living life not as a boat without the oars, but a sailboat.
Right, right, Dr. Arun. Self-governance. Self-governance is the key to um, creativity, to happiness in the long run, I guess. Um, so this was the last and final question from my side. If any of you want to ask a few more questions from Dr. Arun, please go ahead.
So it's also 12 o'clock, the time that we had planned. So thanks for joining, everybody, and wish you all very happy and joyful times. I know these are troubling time, tough times, but I hope I was able to share some nuggets from my own learning. I call them joy mantras, and joy mantras are the word of wisdom written on book of my life with the ink of my experiences and learning. And I hope they were of some use to you, Ananya, and to those who joined us. Thanks everybody for joining. It was a pleasure interacting with you. And our website is www.arunb.com. Email is arunb@arunb.com. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to get that number soon to 1,000 so we can start doing live telecasts from wherever we are and help you with mental flossing and other things related to joy mantras and happy living. So thanks everybody for joining. Ananya, it was such a wonderful opportunity for me to interact with you. Thanks for setting this up. Amazing questions, and I hope I was able to justify, my responses were able to justify the depth of questions that you had asked today, Ananya. I wish you also a very happy life and a very good time. Best wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. Thank you, Dr. Arun, for talking to us today. Those were some amazing insights that really helped me ponder. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I got to learn a lot at a personal level. Dear all, I hope you enjoyed the first Q&A session with Dr. Arun. If any of you would like to give us any feedback, please go ahead. We love to hear from you. Thank you everyone for staying with us till the very end. We have lots more lined up for you, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get a notification as soon as we upload a new video. If you found our session useful, please press the like button and please share this video with as many friends and family members as possible. If you haven't, go check out our website www.arunb.com. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. All links and description of happiness technology, just to give you an overview, everything is attached in the description box. And you know what? Happiness is like a perfume. You cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. So keep smiling, stay positive, Include some great positive routines for yourself every single day. Remember the 3G formula, remember mental flossing, and I'm sure good things are coming. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Ananya, I just received a message which is beautiful, worth sharing, because everybody is right now in this environment of hopelessness, and we are all hearing news within our family circle or somebody that we know. I also received a very bad news today, so I want to share end this session with this, because happy, cheerful is good, but I think we are going through a lot of tough times, troubled times. So let's end with something very beautiful. एक बार किसी ने स्वामी विवेकानंदा से पूछा, सब कुछ खोने से ज्यादा बुरा क्या है? Somebody asked Swami Vivekananda, what is worse than losing everything in life? स्वामी जी ने जवाब दिया, स्वामी विवेकानंदा responded, उस उम्मीद का खो देना जिसके भरोसे हम सब कुछ वापस पा देते हैं. Don't lose hope, because with hope and positive mindset, happiness mindset, and positive action, we can regain what we have lost. Let's become support for each other. Let's give our listening ears to people who are going through tough times. Let's see whatever, however, we can contribute in whichever way to the society. If I can be of any help to any of you or your family members with my capabilities, I'll be very happy to contribute. Wish all of you a very happy times in this troubled times, and wish all of you and your family members a joyful, healthy life. Namaskar. Thank you very much.